but it's so much more than that.
We're playing for something bigger.
You ready?
Question is, how are you going to leave your legacy?
I love Nottingham, the home of Robin Hood. From the bright lights of Goose Fair to the peaceful nature of the Sherwood Forest woods. There's a feeling of togetherness, unity, pure, honest, love. And that feels great like a bright summer's day at the horses down by the lake at Colwick. All I love Nottingham. The River Trent, the embankment, the Nottingham Carnival, different cultures dancing. The diversity, just walking down Columbus Street on a Saturday. The two lions in the square stand tall with pride. And when the markets in town come alive, it gives me life. Listen, as the council house clock chimes, and depending on how many times, lets you know the time. I've been to concerts at the Motorpoint Arena, and I've been to concerts at the Nottingham Caves. I've been here all my life and I'm still amazed by this place. I love Nottingham. Sometimes I stare at Hoxley's graffiti colourful walls, and sometimes I gaze at the deers running round Woollerton Hall. Supreme thrills, from chilling up at Green's Mill or up at that castle on the hill. Nottingham, I love you, and I always will.
Visit Nottingham today.
Welcome back here to Nottingham, our second slot of day 5 here, the Men's Open Division. Cook Islands taking on Japan. Japan, of course, one of the heavyweights in the world of touch football, but the Cook Islands really making a name for themselves in this particular tournament. Touch in that part of the world has continued to go from strength to strength. Japan with first use of the ball, James Preston and Joe Wright to bring you all the action as Japan close towards this 7-metre mark. And now out to that right-hand side. Passive out the back. Meters on offer here for Japan and squeezing all the way through. It's the first try here in the opening set for the Japanese.
And we see this from Japan. It's the trait of their play. They run up the short side and then the passive link. And it's just raw speed to get over for the opening score.
And it's Higino who goes in here for Japan. 1 try to nil. Cook Islands, that early assignment on their line. They haven't passed it. So now an opportunity here for popping back out to this right-hand side. So around about 15 metres away. There's metres on offer now here for Berryman Duff. Berryman Duff floating around the background. Here he is once more, looking to go long. All finds a nice pass there. Perhaps had to hit the link instead.
Yeah, I almost think that pass was intended for the link, just to go above the head, grab it, reel it in over the line. As you say, James, there's definitely the space there, but Cook Islands forcing the turnover. They'll have another crack.
Here they come once more, around about 15 metres away. Sent out here for Tamuri. Tamuri lays it down, brings it up to the 7 once more. Tamuri at first receiver yet again, sends it out to that right-hand side. They've got it right here, the Cook Islands, and Kingston Day has a great start to his day.
And it is a beauty of a heads-up score. It's just hands round the corner. You'll see it here. They fake. Boom, see you later. 2-on-1 in the Cook Islands with the core skills to execute. Round in the corner, equalising, 1-1.
A good start here from the Cook Islands. Both these teams well and truly in the hunt for our next phase of competition. Of course, don't forget, finals day. It does begin today for a number of our categories, but in terms of the men's open, we'll be looking at all of that action getting underway tomorrow, day 6 of 7, as the Cook Islands turn Japan away.
It's a brilliant defensive touch, and not to take anything away from Japan, but what a result it would be for this Cook Islands men's open side to make some quarterfinals. I mean, I'm rooting for them, not just because they've got the best stash and I'm after some. If you're listening and you can give me some Cook Islands stash, I'll big you up all tournament.
We've been talking about some of the hot kits floating about here at the Touch World Cup, and the Cook Islands have been a favourite for many people. That pass won't be, though. That was awkward.
Yeah, awkward one over the head. Almost could have gone through the legs, I thought. The Cook Islands won't be afraid to play with some flair, use the offloads. They want to play around the shooters. Japan now rolling through their transition.
The meters here from Japan through Koizumi, and they'll drop it down now on the last. Hagino once more looking to use his speed. Tries to get away from them, but the touch came in time there from the Cook Islands, and great scramble defence.
Yeah, Cook Islands seem to have Japan's number down that short side. Japan went over once. Seems like Cook Islands have problem solved on the fly. Lovely hands out to the wing, and I've got to say, the hands for the Cook Islands look really impressive early. We saw how difficult it was for Scotland to keep the ball in hand. Well, it's not the case for the Cook Islands.
Berryman Duff brought it forward, and now also on the run here is Tamuri. Tamuri popping a little short pass here, or Berryman Duff, the no-look ball, and now floated over the top. I think they'll come back here for a touch pass, but Berryman Duff looks likely early on here.
Yeah, he looks like someone who really wants to take the ball hard to the line, fix Japanese defenders, and then back the hands to either go long or to the link in that link wing hole. And scoring slowed down, both teams just feeling each other out, but Cook Islands definitely look to be the happier of the two at the moment.
The Kubota sent that one out to that left-hand side. All Japan will get pinged here. Good chance now for the Cook Islands. So Japan scored early. Cook Islands responded not too long thereafter, and gradually they are getting on top in that field position battle as well. Now Berryman Duff brings it forward. Tamuri through the middle. Little run here as well from Horatio Edwards. So a lot of these names you might recognise from the New South Wales State Cup. And Edwards there as he's caught. Japan offside.
You see how tight this Japanese four is, the middles and the links. The opportunities are going to lie outside of those. Can Cook Islands expose?
They will go long, nice and early here, but Japan, it was almost a false sense of security. It was a trap.
Yeah, it's touch one as well. You don't want to throw that long ball off touch one. Me and Adam was saying the other day, if it's there, if the opportunity's on the wing on first, it will still be there on sixth.
There won't be any opportunity here, though, for Japan. They've turned it over very early on in the count. And so, once more, Cook Islands with good field position here. They've definitely won out in that regard in the opening 5 minutes of this one. So, or they march once more here with Kingston Day, already a try to his name so far, as Tamuri bounces around. Maxwell Masters hopping in and acting half. He'll slow it down. Back to Tamuri. Strike dump coming here. Masters, quick release. Oh, popped a little pass back on the inside, but had Masters simply turned away to that right-hand side immediately, it was on.
Yeah, it was on, and so was the winger on this left edge. In acres of space, we know Cook Islands have the ability to flash one flat. See if they can execute. A little bit static, though.
Masters, bring it forward. Tamuri drops it down. Masters once more. They'll pop it back on this side. Or Tamuri was caught flat-footed. He had a little bit of space, a little bit of speed. Could have got through. Now Masters finds him on the follow-up. What a ball from Masters. Tamuri right on the spot, and that is masterful.
Oh, it's a beauty. Once again, Cook Islands taking the ball hard to the line, using the hands. You'll see it from Masters. Bang! Through the link wing hole. And to be honest, there was options in either the link or the wing. Such is the aggression from the Cook Islands attack, just condensing the Japanese defence, and it's warning signs early for Japan.
Well, you called it. They were very compressed, the Japanese defensive line, all through the middle there, and it's an interesting tactic from Japan, given the Cook Islands are probably one of the better sides of that long ball.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like they're just trying to back their athleticism to go and chase, but when you've got a player taking the ball so flat to the line, it's almost impossible to cover that ground.
Berryman Duff stepping up to make the touch, and then a good dive from distance there for Japan. It's Yamamoto who goes all the way through. Very well read. Cook Islands were struggling to get back to the line. Here it is again on the replay.
Just a little bit trapped in the ruck, isn't he, as he makes the touch? And I think this last minute really sums up the dynamic of this game. Japan are going to use their structure, try and go underneath the Cook Islands defence, and conversely, Cook Islands are going to take it hard and whip the ball long. We're in for a good one.
So Edwards drops it down, and now Tylan Berryman out there for them. Berryman Duff sends it long, floating out here for Graham. Graham turns it back on the inside. Geez, that was athletic there from the Cook Islands. Running at full tilt, the opposite direction. Now a little dummy and a late release comes out. Edwards is caught on the last. Static play to finish with here for the Cook Islands. Footwork now coming out. Oh, the big dummy as well. Not fooling anyone from Japan. And Sato makes the touch.
Yeah, good defensive spacing from Japan, not biting on the dummies on 5th. Japan rolling through their transition. This is where we've seen them cough the ball up. That looked a little bit skew-if. They get away with it.
Nearly a problem once more here midway through the count. It's happened probably 3 times now for Japan. As out it comes to this right-hand side. Touch is made there from Edwards. Last one here for Japan. They'll try and fling it on under pressure. Berryman Duff read it well. And 2-2 it remains.
Yeah, Berryman Duff not only looking potent in attack, but really solid in defence, making a brilliant read, recognising that the tap-on was the only option, and just goes to put pressure. Cook Islands looking really strong early doors.
Graham drops it down just shy of the halfway line. Horatio Edwards moving forward, and now rolled back here from Aiden Masters. On the charge here is Tuatai Masters. Now Maxwell Masters finding a pass. Little tip on play. It's just gone wide though. Not quite having the bearings on that occasion, but geez, Masters with that bullet pass from the middle. That's a danger sign for Japan.
Yeah, he's definitely got it in the back pocket, hasn't he? The flat pass at the line. Maybe the right option was to go to the wing initially, but I don't mind it, because even though the ball's going to the link and not quite happening, what that will do is that will sort of scare the Japanese winger a little bit to hold tighter, and then that ball to the wing is even easier.
The Japan now working up towards halfway. Great contest building here on day 5. Around about 9.5 minutes gone as Japan get the wheels in motion. Higino once more. You have to say he's one of the quickest out there.
Yeah, but Masters just eats up the ground behind him like it was nothing. This Cook Islands men's open side, I mean, if they start clicking properly in attack, it's warning signs. However, curse of the commentator, first one on day 5. We love it. And there's another one from Japan. 2 unforced errors. We'll just pretend those last 10 seconds didn't happen.
Sure, both teams were wishing for exactly that. It's now Tamuri. Drops it down. Paul waiting in at acting half. Reed is an option out on that right-hand edge. And look at the space they're offering there, Japan. Surely they have to go that way. Tamuri back to the middle. Paul pops a pass to him now. And Tamuri is caught. They've got to go quickly here on that right-hand side. Tamuri goes away from it, though.
Had to go. Had to go. Really good setup. Drew the Japanese defence out. Just like that final moment.
It's still on here, and they just refuse to head to the right-hand side. Tamuri cut out here. Out for Graham. Graham sends it back for Tamuri. Tamuri, short side raid, tries to find the flick pass into Japan, but not played it. That'll be the turnover. And I've got question marks over that set. Probably 3 or 4 plays they could have gone right, and they just refused to do it.
Yeah, they just needed to. Even if you don't get the score in the corner, Japan are offering you the space. Go and take it. And then if they crowd it out, whip it back infield. Cook Islands, you've got the ability to do it. Just seems like they never really looked that way. If I was out there on that winger, I'd be screaming at the middles.
Well, it's been a very deliberate ploy here from Japan to have a extremely tight and compressed middle section. The links also jamming in. It's almost operating with 4 middles in defence.
Yeah, and it seems like they're almost goading the Cook Islands into saying, go on, take it, we'll chase it. And Cook Islands not reacting to it well enough at the moment. I wonder if the coaching staff in the Cook Islands box can make that read for them and give them direction.
Berryman Duff, speaking of direction, he heads straight ahead here. Now, back here for Berryman Duff once more. Last one now for the Cook Islands. Berryman Duff, a couple of dummies. Tried to squeeze a pass around the corner, but Japan, well read. The touch was made there from Tetsuki. Now Tetsuki on the charge himself. Sends it out wide, up towards halfway. Good meters here from Japan. A lovely driving set. And the momentum keeps building here. They'll roll it back. By the time this next touch comes, they'll be just about on the 7. Here it is for them, sending long. Oh, stepping up in the channel was Berryman Duff. They had 3-on-1 out here on this right-hand edge.
Yeah, Berryman Duff making a brilliant defensive read. Had to be made as well. So as you say, 3-on-1, either the link or the wing. Could have reeled that one in. Japan looking sharp in this set.
Drop down now. Oh, they've got 3-on-2 on that left-hand side, Japan. But much like the Cook Islands, they forget to put it through the hands. They'll run directly at a man who was offside, potentially, but touch was made from another supporting player. As a result, not a play through, but simply a penalty. So back to the 7 here, Japan. This one is a tight contest. Approaching that 13-minute mark here in game number 2 of day 5. Once more, Cook Islands. They're on the spot, making the touch. Horatio Edwards working very hard in defence. Japan here through Urakawa. Urakawa once more. Oh, they had to go wide early there, Urakawa. He looked at him and instead played it short for Yamamoto, but oodles of space for Yago.
Had to go. It looked like they'd condensed the Cook Islands defence beautifully. And then opt for the link instead of the wing, and a try-scoring opportunity goes begging.
Yago restarts it here. Once more, Urakawa finding a little short pass, and this time it produces a result. So Japan, both in attack and defence, it's all been very centralised, but it is gradually working for them.
Yeah, and it's a really good individual bit of brilliance. Boom, left foot whack, see you later. And they get over, lovely step. The defensive spacing from Cook Islands, a direct contrast for Japan, who are so tight. The Cook Islands leave a little bit more space, and Japan take full advantage.
Koizumi, the man to go over there for Japan as they head back in front now. 3-2. Scored the first one, Japan, but Cook Islands then got a couple in a row. Just trading tries here as Maxwell Masters. Thought about heading right, sends it back to the left here for Tuatai Masters. Last one now. They'll cut out Masters and find a ripper of a pass. But what a touch made here from Japan. That might be the try saver of the tournament there for Hamada.
It's a beautiful play from both sides of the ball. Cook Islands trying to go over.
Oh.
What a diving touch. That's almost as good as a try from a Japanese perspective.
Well, he's got maybe a millimetre worth of a leg hair to stop that one, but he certainly did make the touch. And now Japan up towards the 7. They've got them at 6s and 7s here. Oh, Graham was beaten on the outside. What a pass there for Japan. They celebrate big time. Outstanding play. And Yago goes in, but what about the footwork on display?
Yeah, here we go. We'll see it here. Boom, bye-bye. And then the ball round the diving defender. In Japan, it's the structure, and it's causing Cook Islands all sorts of problems.
Agino, the man that made the Cook Islands look a little bit silly there. And now Japan, they've clicked into another gear. Cook Islands need to respond. So here comes Edwards moving forward. Touch is made from Japan. Now there's a nice bit of speed about the work here of the Cook Islands. All that pass to Reed left a little bit to be desired. They'll come back to the middle. Oh, and then just losing their bearings here, Berryman Duff. They've become a little bit rattled here, the Cook Islands.
Yeah, and it seems like Japan have really grown in confidence off the back of a couple really nice defensive sets. And they go down, they go coast to coast and start to put some pressure on the Cook Islands line, and they're finding all the success. Cook Islands just need to grab this game by the scruff of the neck again. It's running away from them.
Koizumi now marching forward, and big contact there from the Cook Islands, and then also the ball comes spewing out via the foot there of Horatio Edwards. So another penalty here for Japan, and easy meters on offer too.
Just no
Cook
line
Islands
speed.
Thought they might have been pinged there for a forceful touch as well.
Yeah, full extension in the touch. There's another one that's right on the line. They're going to need to ride that line to stop Japan.
Reed making the touch, and now once more having a little look at them. Oh, lovely pass over the top. Urakawa was involved, and then the long ball finds a passage here for Suyasu. And Japan are humming along nicely now. A 5th try on the board.
Yeah, and this is what we see from Japan. We saw it on day 2. They run the rooster with the early release, and the ball to the wing is always on. That's how they crucified the Irish men's open, and it's the same recipe against the Cook Islands.
Less than 3 to go in this first half, and blown out very quickly here for the Cook Islands. It was a contest only 5 minutes ago. Still plenty of time in it, but geez, Japan have really started letting that ball sing. As now Cook Islands are caught 7 away from the line. They'll send it back to the middle here for Teeny. Teeny still an option towards the centre. They can't find him though on the return. Masters, who is trying to find a ball around the corner. And Japan just have their measure at the moment.
Yeah, again, it seems like Cook Islands are reluctant to use the outside edges, which is where Japan are giving them all the space. I'd like to see them maybe run plays on the link, condition the width of the Japanese defence, because at the moment it's too easy for Japan to chase.
Iago brings it forward, and now Japan once more with big meters on offer. And another penalty here. So it's this fitness, the speed of Japan, which is causing all sorts of issues here for the Cook Islands.
Yeah, and we saw this yesterday. The speed at which Japan transition causes any team all sorts of problems. And it's the structure that they run it with, combined with the pace.
Another very heavy touch there. Not ruled as forceful contact, though. Cook Islands maybe just trying to intimidate the Japanese here, but they're not taking a backward step. And now, speaking of not taking a backward step, Higino puts on the afterburners, splits them, and Higino is having a 10 out of 10 performance here.
It's brilliant again from Japan, getting over. And I thought the Cook Islands had actually shaped up a little bit better to chase to the wing, but Higino just says, oh well, space is here, I'll dive, I'll put the afterburners on, I'll take it. This game has run away from the Cook Islands, and as you say, only the last 5 or 6 minutes.
The Cook Islands now with a lot of work to do. Japan still with this compressed defensive line, but for whatever reason, the Cook Islands seem reluctant to bomb it long. As Berryman Duff once more plays short inside the 7. That's better from them, and unfortunately, the play of the ball is incorrect. Otherwise, Graham was in.
Yeah, and that's the play. That's the play. You run direct at the Japanese middles and then you whip the ball long. But once again, a penalty for not delivering the ball back to the mark. So a 20-metre gain for Japan. And it's all going against the Cook Islands at the moment.
The final stages of this first half. Japan might get one more crack at the line with around about 30 seconds remaining. Lane number 1, 10 shy of that halfway line. Diving forward now. Popping a little pass there was Ashima. Now for the run of Tokusho. Into enemy territory now comes Yokomizo. Yokomizo dropping it down. Here's Yamamoto. Yamamoto taking off. And there is the siren. The touch is made. And that should do us here in the first half. So Cook Islands started very impressively, but then Japan said, well, hang on. We've got something to show you.
Yeah, and it's the transition that's just butchering the Cook Islands defensive line at the moment. The speed at which Japan run the fresh legs on and then whip it open side. We've seen scores go in the corner, through the middle from a Japanese perspective. The Cook Islands, I think, just need to use their hands a bit more, find the outside edge. That's where the space is in your line attack.
We'll see if they can make the necessary alterations for the second half. But at the break here, Japan flexing a bit of muscle. They lead 6-2 in the men's open division. All the second half action in just a moment.
I know that there's a lot of teams over Riverside. If you want to get your team photo, official team photo, we take that photo. They're here till 4 o'clock. So if you've been at Riverside.
So what does it mean to you? The time?
Sweat, the passion,
The thrill? The determination?
The support.
The camaraderie?
But it's so much more than that.
We're playing for something bigger.
You ready?
Question is, how are you going to leave your legacy?
This is your 30-second warning. Please take to the field, ready to play. Players and officials, stand by.
Welcome back here to Nottingham. Cook Islands with a bit of work to do here in the second half. James Preston and Joe Wright bring you all the action. 6-2 Japan lead, but this is a more inspired start here for the Cook Islands. And you can see the little kick of the foot there from two-time masters. That was a golden opportunity to begin the second half.
By far and away the best setup that we've seen from the Cook Islands early in the second half. Looked like they could have just whipped the ball over to the left-hand edge. But it's good signs early. They need to put the press on, though.
Japan, though, nice and quick here. Urakawa sends it out wide. They're all running in motion. Oh, changing the angle. Beautiful here from Japan, nearly all the way through. Well, that is ominous signs as well from the Japanese. That's a great set.
Oh, it's a brilliant set from Japan, and that's what they do so well. It's like they get all of their best success coming off the back of that transition. And then you look at the Cook Islands sub-move. It's just a little bit static. This is fifth coming now. They've got to go quick.
Berryman out there for them. Here is Tylan who drops it down. Tylan Berryman now. Berryman Duff. Oh, showed it once. What a ball from Berryman Duff. And Kobe is on the spot. Reads it beautifully. And the Cook Islands have a third. This is special.
Oh, this is just a beauty again from the Cook Islands. Double pump, see you later, in behind the covering defender. And I mean, what a way to start the second half of the Cook Islands. You struggle to get over the line, and then you pull out a bit of magic to bring the deficit back down to 3.
And they have switched up too. It's a lot more direct now. Quick play the balls from Cook Islands. Before they were probably happy to bounce around a little bit and use their footwork, but now it's just all about speed. So they're trying to match Japan here as it comes out for Higino. Speaking of speed, once more he puts on the afterburners, gets down to ground, a big right foot step as well. Far and away, player of the match thus far.
Oh, he's just superb in this line attack, and it is just the speed. Kicks through, dummy, touch comes in, but the referee, clear call, not onside, tap of the boot. But the Cook Islands, just as soon as they bring the deficit back down to 3, have to go again for the 4-try deficit.
Well, this is a cracking contest. What a way to start the day here. 7-3 Japan lead, but by no means are the Cook Islands out of this one. They've got class across the park. When they get it right, they look very good. Now Berryman Duff sends early. Oh, Japan up very quickly. Were they onside? Certainly the Cook Islands box don't think so.
Also maybe dropping early. Cook Islands pull out of that touch, make it evident for the referees.
Berryman, now Berryman Duff. Oh, Berryman Duff again with a lovely disguise on the pass. This time didn't fool Japan, but very close.
Yeah, Cook Islands looking much more threatening in attack so far. The pace at which they roll into their strike moves is making a massive difference. A really good defensive touch there just stagnates the Japanese transition. Now you've got to go back that up with more defensive pressure.
Berryman in there for the touch, and now Urakawa up over halfway. Dumbing both sides of the play. The ball here is Yamamoto, and Yamamoto now taking off again. Urakawa under pressure. There's the turnover and a good defensive set from the Cook Islands.
Yeah, much better defensive set, really stopping the roll of the Japanese sub-move. Half's a little bit late to the ball, but they get the support. And again, the ball's on the floor for too long. It allows Japan to come and flood them.
And now for the run here of Horatio Edwards, and bad to worse. Those couple of plays there for the Cook Islands, they'll turn it over. You can't afford to do that against such a quality opposition as Japan.
And you can't give them the field position because now you've got to really fly in defence, and they do. But it's a penalty and gets foot in the ruck.
That might actually benefit the Cook Islands here because Japan had a good roll going.
It's a strange one because normally you don't want to defend line attack, but I'd hate to defend the Japanese transition the way they get the roll on. The Cook Islands need a defensive shot, but the spacing looks a bit too wide for my liking.
Higino once more looking dangerous. This time they were wary of him. It was Anthony Tini who stepped out and made the touch. They've got to keep an eye on Higino here. He is just in fine touch himself. Well, there was an option a little bit wider still. Oh, Graham with an awful read. Nothing was doing there for Yago. I'm not sure what Graham was thinking. He had him all marked up and then just kept shifting out wide and opened up a passage.
Yeah, it's like he just lost track of where the Japanese winger was, and he sort of hangs his head. He knows that was a bad read. And unfortunately, it's cost his team a score. We'll see it here again. There's nothing doing here. It's just a hopeful ball, and yep, just caught flat-footed, and the Japanese winger goes in unopposed.
Well, absolutely nothing doing there for Japan, and still they come away with points. That now makes it very challenging here for the Cook Islands, down by 5. A roller back as Berryman brings it here for Masters. Quick release, Berryman Duff now playing short again. He's got that lovely little late pass.
They're going to wave through here, I think.
They are indeed. So Berryman Duff sets up another one. He's probably been the smartest player here for the Cook Islands. He does identify those little weaknesses in defensive lines.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. It's that touch IQ, being able to recognise where the offside players are. And we'll see it. Yep, he never hits that line. Neither, I mean, the middle or the link, both offside. And Berryman Duff combining a really good score. And for me, they need Berryman Duff and Masters on the field more often than not, because they're the two that really cause pressure for the Japanese line.
Well, they're both out there at the moment. How important will that previous try for Japan with Graham having that misread prove to be? Or Reed makes a good diving touch there. Outstretched. Are they going to call this one through as well? They will. Well, Reed is suggesting he's definitely hit the line. It'll fall on deaf ears, though. And there's another try here for Japan. This will be interesting to see back.
Yeah, I'm confused as to what the call is here. It looked like it was good. I think there's still a bit of confusion on the field. And hopefully we'll see the replay, because I don't see much wrong with the touch. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, he's always treading water just in front of the line. And Reed doesn't get the defensive read. Japan go over once again, and it's rinse and repeat from the score that Cook Islands just put away, playing at the offside defender.
Now Berryman Duff, oh, draw and pass again. He's got the silky hands here, Berryman Duff. Graham gets across the board, and they're going tit for tat in the second half.
Yeah, they just need Berryman Duff on the field more often, because he's so electric, takes the ball to the line, finds space, engaging defenders. And I mean, Graham was subject to a bad defensive read, but there's one from the Japanese winger jumping out when he really didn't need to. And now again, Cook Islands deficit back to 4, but they need to start defending the Japanese attacking set.
Higino back out there now for Japan. Of course, that's the response. Put on Higino if you've conceded. Urakawa there as well. Higino now looking to take off. Oh, little bobble. Geez, they're unlucky there, the Cook Islands.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's another offside call, but I mean, the offside player didn't affect the roll ball, did he? So for me, Cook Islands unfortunate in that instance, but they need another defensive set.
The Koizumi restarting things. Urakawa waits. Hagino there with him as well. Oh, Hagino back on the inside. Jeez, he's quick. He just pulls himself out of the line so fast. Now wrapping around once more here is Koizumi. Drop down. Urakawa. Hagino sending long. Oh, Graham this time makes an excellent read. Now the chase is on. Oh, good speed here from Berryman Duff. He burns them. He'll go the whole way. And that changes the game here for the Cook Islands.
Yeah, and it's a hat-trick of try involvements for Berryman Duff in this second half. And I said, get him on the field. He makes things happen. Well, here we go. And Graham, yep, you made a bad defensive read, but you've made up for it there in the passing lane. A little bit of a bobble, doesn't matter. And then the recognition to say, okay, I'm going to get cut. Let's give it to the demon who goes full length. And Berryman Duff is dragging this Cook Islands men's open team by the scruff of the neck and saying, no, 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 we're not losing this game, not if I can help it.
Well, they are right back in the contest now. 9-6 Japan lead, looking for double digits here. Little pass provided. Now back to the middle here for Ashima. And Ashima now out here for Sato, who's already gone across once. This time turned away. Back to the 7 they go here. Kubota out to that right-hand side. They'll simply try and kill it well away from the Cook Islands box. In fact, they'll simply hand it right back over to them.
Yeah, nothing doing there for Japan. They recognise that we're just going down a blind alley. Good yards made, but they need the speed. Here's the defensive press from Japan.
Masters, nice little cycle back on the inside, and it was touched in flight, so that's excellent here for the Cook Islands. That's just play number 1 now here with Reed. Berryman out now here for Aiden Masters. Plenty of Berrymans and Masters in this side. It's a real family affair for the Cook Islands. Now, Tylan Berryman once more picking up easy meters, and now here is the danger man. Berryman Duff is out there. Well, they wanted that touch early. Japan just pulling away. Now Berryman Duff looking dangerous again. This time bombs long. Oh, and it's come out of the arms there. But yes, there is the call as Joe Wright was asking for, the offside penalty.
Yeah, finally. There's been a few times where Japan have just dropped early, sent the single shooter and dropped. And finally the referees pick up on it. And the Cook Islands, you've got a golden opportunity to really take advantage.
They can get across the line here. What a final 10 minutes we're in for. Berryman Duff with the fancy footwork. Now floating a pass. Oh, Graham, I think he's bounced it. Pass might have gone forward anyway there from Berryman Duff, though.
For me, it's a real disappointment that for the Cook Islands, because it's first. No need to throw that ball first. Condition the middle to be tighter and then go long.
Japan now, having escaped that latest raid from the Cook Islands, once more have this terrific transition upfield. Meters on, off, and now. And oh, Hagino. Well, in fact, it was Yamamoto who was just trying to straighten up the attack. All he succeeded in doing, though, was pushing his own man over.
Yeah, and it's one of those where he's always trying to give him direction, say, in there. It's just a little bit too forceful. However, it doesn't really matter because Japan penalised 7 on again, so a couple logistical errors we've seen in the subbing department this morning. Cook Islands now good opportunity.
Maxwell Masters with no Berryman Duff on deck. He's the one to watch, and he'll go quickly onto this right-hand side. Far too easy for the Cook Islands. Well, that's like one of the Japanese tries in the first half, just strolling through. And 9-7, it is game on.
It really is game on, and Cook Islands have come out firing much faster, much more purposeful, and yep, little show and go. And it's that man going over again, number 12. And it's just, once more, the speed at which Cook Islands run into their attack causes Japan all sorts of pressure. We've just not seen it consistently enough for them to go ahead in this game.
Aiden Masters, the try scorer. I'll tell you what, the coaching staff has done a great job at halftime. They've really corrected things here, the Cook Islands, but Urakawa now finding a pass, and Hagino. He didn't think a touch was made, but referee disagrees. Back to the 7 he goes now with 8 minutes remaining. The margin now just 2 tries. They have come storming back into contention here, the Cook Islands. Urakawa, great footwork, sends it out wide. Touch pass will be called. And the Cook Islands, at the moment, they've got all the answers.
Yeah, they are fired up at the moment. And like you say, credit to the Cook Islands coaching staff, because they've recognised that there was just not enough pace. And look at the yards made on one up the box side. This Cook Islands side was a shadow of itself in the first half. This is more like it.
Now meters here for Horatio Edwards. They had a great opportunity to keep rolling forward. Graham made a quick roll ball, but the subset went a bit awry, and as a result, this is now the last about 15 away. Reed, an option back through the middle, tries to get away from the outstretched arm of Urakawa, who makes the touch, and that's probably a golden opportunity gone to waste there for the Cook Islands.
Yeah, there was opportunities on the left-hand edge. The winger was in acres of space. Not made the read, though, of the Cook Islands in attack. And again, look at the pace in which Japan flood onto the field. Here come the fresh legs.
I think Japan might have perhaps the best transitional set in the game, even in front of Australia and New Zealand.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I also think for Japan, it's their biggest weapon. It's also where Cook Islands have started to put the most amount of pressure on, especially on touch 2 when they get to the box. That second touch for the Cook Islands.
Here we go, short side raid. Tylan Berryman exploits them, but guess who yet again setting it up? Berryman Duff. He just rips apart defensive lines. The footy IQ is through the roof.
He almost threw that pass blind to the short side. Didn't want to give away the read. Didn't need to either. Lovely check off down the short side, and that's what happens when you run at pace at this defence. You can fix players and find the space, and Berryman Duff, well, I mean, he's been the difference maker in this second half by a mile.
It was 8-4 not too long ago. Now 9-8, and with around about 6 minutes to go, there is all the time in the world as Higino tries to correct things here for Japan.
Oh, what a touch.
Outstanding touch, because Higino has burnt them time and again in this match. We'll go back to the 7-metre mark now. Little pass here for Tetsuki. Tetsuki drops it down. Higino wants a crack at them again. All good speed once more from Higino. And again, the Cook Islands slide across. Geez, their defence has been outstanding in this second half.
Yeah, and at the moment, it's Higino versus Berryman Duff, basically. Two players trying to drag their teams through this game. And Cook Islands have recognised that Higino's the one to watch, so they just send the saver middle up in his face immediately to put pressure on him as he's trying to run hard. And there's some pace injected for the Cook Islands. Good yards made.
Graham now finding support through the middle, through Tamuri, now picked up, looking dangerous, floating a pass over the top. Oh, here comes the flick pass. How'd it come off? We're looking at the try of the tournament, but it stays at 9-8. But since the break, Cook Islands 6-3.
Yeah, they've been superb, have they, in the second half? And I think that play there just shows the confidence in which they're playing. Like, why not try the flick pass? Everything else has worked in this second half. And Cook Islands, see, this is good touch IQ, and it's dictated for the coaching staff. There's a delay of play where they get the ball. So they just sub all the fresh legs on now to get fresh bodies for the defensive set. And what I think they'll do here is they'll put massive pressure on this sub move from Japan, see if they can get another crack at the line.
So a world of time in touch footy terms here. 4.5 minutes. And smart work there from the Cook Islands. They pulled out, and guess what? Berryman Duff about to enter the action once more. Once more smart coaching here from the Cook Islands. So a full set to work with. Around about 7 away. They might try and take it straight away here. No, they'll opt to head back towards their own try line. Now dropping it down. Berryman Duff, the one to watch here. Keep your eyes on the number 13. Down it goes. Berryman Duff, short side raid. Once more he takes the right option. And Tylan Berryman is over again. This is a masterclass from Berryman Duff.
What a game. Game 2, day 5. You think they may be tired? No, they aren't. Look at their pace and ball down. And Cook Islands, I mean, where was this in the first half? What a spectacle on pitch 1. 9 apiece. 3 minutes to go. It's about as tight as it could possibly be.
We have seen some cracking games in this World Cup thus far. This is right up amongst them as the best of the tournament. Japan now moving it forward. Geez, they got some work to do. They're well and truly on the back foot here. Since the break, 7 tries to 3 in favour of the Cook Islands. Now Urakawa finds a little ball. Oh, good dummy, and then collapsing. That was very close there for Yamamoto, who heads back to the 7 now on the last. 3 minutes to go, and they make an error here. The Cook Islands with their tails up, and they can march upfield.
Yeah, Cook Islands just seem to have the Japanese attack's number at the moment. And I mean, here we go. Here's the danger man flooding onto the field. When he's on the pitch, anything can happen.
Tamuri, good meters here, but look at the marking up here on Berryman Duff. They put 2 on him on that occasion. Still, he might cause a few issues here. Tamuri, short side Ray. Graham back to the middle. They just have to let it sing here. They've got 3 on 2. Berryman changing the emphasis. Oh, Tamuri opens up a bit of space. Berryman Duff with it around the corner. Flick pass. Jeez, he's got all the tricks.
And they'd almost side through with 0 touches to use. The hands are just superb. And this Japanese defensive pod looks leggy at the moment.
Don't go anywhere. This is one of the best ones you'll ever see. How about the action from the Cook Islands, who've pulled everything except for a rabbit out of the hat here in the second half. Now for a run here for Japan. Forward they march. Touches made from Tamuri. Looking dangerous now. Oh, once again, outstanding slide here from the Cook Islands, but they've given away a penalty on the last.
And this is the opportunity for Japan that they needed. They needed the fresh set of 6. They're going to try and go hard at the line.
Well, where's Higino? They haven't put him on yet. I think he's coming into the action now, but they might go early here. Japan, great touch from Tylan Berryman. Got there in time. Had they popped on a pass out to the wing, it was still on there for Yago. And now they're sorted here through the middle. Koizumi out here. Now Japan strike on this right-hand edge. Again, good scramble, though, from the Cook Islands. Just over a minute remaining. They have to hold out here. Slowed down from Koizumi. Little dummy, then back on the inside. Again, the Cook Islands have the measure of the Japanese.
Oh, we're into the last minute. Can the Cook Islands go coast to coast and get the winner, which would honestly be so well-deserved for this second half performance?
What a famous comeback it would be. A big margin at halftime, 6-2. Once more, they operate down a short side. Were they back on side? No, they weren't. Yago never got there in time.
Yeah, and here we go. Get him on. Berryman Masters, get him on.
Berryman Duff, where is he? He's not out there at the moment. They haven't put him back on.
Can't believe it.
Now he's there. Berryman Duff is on now. So he's working out of acting half. Pops a little short pass. The dummy comes in. The Cook Islands will win it at the death. They'll have to check on it. The dummy comes in from Horatio Edwards, but once more Berryman Duff on the spot. And they will call it. The Cook Islands with 10 seconds to go. Down 6-2 at half-time. Win it 10-9 on the siren. Berryman Duff with one of the all-time great individual performances in a World Cup.
And that might be the individual performance of the entire week, barring a miraculous performance from anyone else for the rest of these 3 days. I mean, he's earned his rest and single-handedly dragged his team through the mud to take what is a very well-deserved win against Japan. And I mean, I've got to take a breath. That was amazing for only game 2 of day 5.
It's a World Cup classic. That one will go down in the history books. What a comeback from the Cook Islands. A second half masterclass from Berryman Duff. 8 tries to 3 in the second stanza. They weren't really even in the contest, but they pull it out of the fire.